Pass ahead here. North York gets to the red line. Lowe hits his man. Hinsenbergs now passes ahead. Follows up the play. Picks it up from Scarali. His wrist shot is stopped by Bagetta. And he holds on. Last year as North York exited in the first round, they lost 4-2 to the Toronto Junior Canadiens, a team they are currently tied with for 5th in the standings. One of them is going to finish 6th. Could be the Junior Canadiens. It would mean not a first-round matchup again. Funny thing was for North York, they placed 5th last year. They made them finish 5th again here, but they finished with 58 points last season. Same amount of games, same alignments, or same number of opponents really. There's a slight different alignment because Markham was in Hamilton, but ended up with about 10 less points than what they may end up with this year and still in the same position.
Parity.
And the Southwest definitely improving overall this year compared to last year, and the Northeast getting a little bit weaker. Trenton, Kingston still the classes of the league, argued by many at the top of the Northeast, but behind them, not the depth there once was with the Auroras, and the Markhams playing a little bit lower than you might expect this season. 11:20 to go here in the third period. North York, Jackaman slap shot from the red line. That was on goal and stopped by Paquette. Here's Gentles at his own blue line. Tries to play it up to Hudgen. Rolled by him. And now Josh Dame skates around with it in the neutral zone. Tries to split the Pickering trap in the neutral zone. Gets it back on the give and go. Had a chance in front. Paquette shut the pads, and now Waldron skates away for Pickering. Waldron. Move at the blue line. His team stayed on side for him. North York loses though. Now sends it the length of the ice. Gentles tries to get the icing call, but it's waved off. Winged around the boards to Tiger McDonald. His pass no good for Clark, and the geometry not good enough either. That's going to go for icing.
Pickering being aggressive here in this third period, throwing everything in the kitchen sink at Bagetta, but the pass is just not lining up since that last penalty kill they were on. Tough time playing outside their end of the ice.
Just to clean up that out-of-town scoreboard, Aurora is trailing 3-1 to Oakville. So that would mean Markham would lock up the OJHL North and the second seed in the Northeast playoffs. Regardless of their result against Stouffville, they currently lead 3-2 at the second intermission against the Stouffville Spirits. They've regained the lead there, and that means Newmarket currently holding on to that 8th place position in the Northeast. Here's Blasby. Enters the zone for North York. Dishes it deep. Ted Hunt is there. He's in his final year of junior eligibility as well. Former draft pick of the Mississauga Steelheads back in 2011. Kouksis hits him behind the net. North York still has possession though. Tessier across the line. Shot towards the front of the goal is blocked by Chalice. Scarali gloves it down and skates to center ice. 9:42 to play in the third. 3-2 North York. Dumped in by the Rangers. They'll peel off for a change. Lots of time for Walker Hinsenbergs to start the breakout. Chalice does it himself. Skates to center. Scarali was there. Didn't help out. Entering the zone now, Michael Morgan. Centering pass and shot just wide by Goschuk, who was alone out front. Shot from the line again, tipped wide by North York. They have possession here. Goschuk sweeps it towards Morgan, but Scarali takes it from him. Dumps it in the zone, and that line was out for a while for Pickering. They're off now. Goschuk gets it deep again for the Rangers. On the stick of Heber, he backhands it around the boards to Thomas Zano. Between the legs pass to Andrew Hughes. He's away with speed at center ice. Tries to slip it between the defense. Still has it. Rolls down in the corner. And now it is tipped around the boards to the near side where it's played off the glass by the Rangers and out. Ugin gets it deep. Dallas Cutter try to chase in after it. On the stick of Thomas Zano now. His shot towards the front of the goal. No one really there for Pickering. No problem for Bagetta.
And for North York, you know that they know what they're playing for here, looking to lock up that playoff seed. So looks like they're going to continue to try and shut things down inside their own blue line here. So Clock winds down. And that's the thing. Pickering really, without much to play for here, just looking for that final win on home ice. Could see some desperate hockey. That's tough to defend when the other team's willing to do just about anything for the win.
Ryan Hunt blows the tire down, trying to get the puck, and the Panthers take advantage. Robert Clark will dump it deep. Tiger McDonald trying to be first on it. He is. Tries to center. Stopped by the goaltender. And cleared by the Rangers. That one might have enough to go for icing. It will. Brought back down the ice for a face-off in the offensive zone here for Pickering. 7:49 to go in the third period. We are very close. We are 1 day and 1 hour, according to the OJHL official website, from the end of the regular season. I guess time towards tomorrow night at 10:30 p.m. And then another month and a half of playoffs before they start going towards provincials and then nationals in the RBC Cup, this year held in Lloydminster, Saskatchewan. The Dudley Hewitt Provincial Championship is up north as well, being hosted by the NOJHL this year, the NOJHL. It's going to be held in Kirkland Lake from May 3rd to 7th.
You familiar with Kirkland Lake, Alex?
What's that?
You familiar with Kirkland Lake?
Oh, a little bit. Just up on the main road there. You take the Trans-Canada Highway straight north, and you'll eventually get there. It's along the Quebec border. It's across about level with Val-d'Or.
Okay, east. Gotcha.
Northeast, yeah.
I was going to say, Lloydminster I've been to.
Oh, Tyler's
Kirkland Lake, no.
Yeah, well, Lloydminster, I believe the home of Wade Redden. Yeah. Rings a bell. Panthers short a defenseman here on the space-off.
There he is. By the way, Alex, Pickering, when trailing after 2 periods play, haven't won a game this year. Come back to tie 2, force overtime. That's good. Let's see, looking to buck the trend in the second last game of the year.
Panthers ending up with 2 ties at the end of double overtime, and both of them came against the Markham Royals. One of them right here last weekend, Sunday night. That was quite a finish, Tyler, and I'll fill you in because you weren't in the building for that one, but the end of the second overtime period, 3-on-3 action. The Markham Royals, and this is for the benefit of our listeners as well, because if you didn't see this game, check it out on the Panthers YouTube page. In the final minutes, that 3-on-3, it's tie game. Markham pulls the goaltender in overtime because if all they needed was a goal and they would have locked up the division. They still haven't done so tonight, the OJHL North. It didn't matter if they lost the game. It didn't affect them. Pickering obviously not in playoff contention. So they pull the goaltender, and the Panthers turn it over in the middle of the ice and start coming back the other way. And with 4 skaters already out, the goaltender returned on his own accord, made the save on John Hudgen, who shot it from the neutral zone at the empty cage, which was... It's not a penalty shot. It's not an awarded goal. It is a penalty shot, sorry. It's not an awarded goal. It was awarded a penalty shot to Tiger McDonald, who took it, it was just for basically an illegal substitution. It's one of the last 2 minutes of play and/or overtime. A deliberate illegal substitution becomes a penalty shot in that situation. So that was with the ruling on the play, as there was no breakaway. If Hudgen had been on a breakaway and there was a foul committed, it would have been an awarded goal for the overtime winner. However, he shot it in front of 2 defensemen, so therefore it was simply a penalty shot, and Scott Smith made the save, and the game ended in a tie. And so the goaltender keeping Markham's game alive in hopes of getting the extra point in that one for a few brief seconds, but it was quite the finish, and one of the most exciting ties you will see. Meantime here, the Panthers buzzing around the zone, but unable to get anything towards the net. Veliki finally sweeps it out on a wraparound, and it's going to be held on by the goaltender. Vigetta, 5:31 to go here. Can only hope for a finish like that. Credit to the referees who had to have a meeting to figure that one out for a second. They got the right call.
Consult the cheat sheet on the back of your hand at that point. You're digging deep in the rule book.
We'll often see it where there's something thrown from the bench. Those are a little more clear cut. If there's actually a foul, but just an illegal substitution like that, it's not really a foul on the player. And you have to think about that one. Tyler Curry now for the North York inside the Panther zone. He flips it in deep. Looks at Keegan